100 naira eko. Esamba seko.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to another exciting edition of the program Lagos. This morning, we know it's been a while. It's due to a little bit of technical difficulty, which has been successfully rectified. So you're welcome to another exciting edition of the program. Today, we'll be looking at series of topics in Lagos State, cutting across political topics, entertainment, news, sports, and the likes, and what have you. So before we start, I'm Olajide Taufik Olamide, and with me here is my beautiful and wonderful
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, our amazing viewers. It's been a while though, but we're back for you guys fully. I am Gladys Alozie. Welcome to the show, Lagos this morning.
All right, quickly, let's set the ball rolling by going straight into the top stories for the day. Let's have you.
Yes, on the top stories we have Nigerians frustrated with election outcome. That's coming from Bishop Kuka.
Yeah, avoid cheap talk, fix Nigeria. Bishop Kuka tells Asiwaju Bola Tinubu.
Yes, Abure remains our national chairman in Labour Party, coming from NLC.
Okay, on Easter celebration, Tinubu asks Nigerians to shun divisive, religious and ethnic sentiment.
Yes, 5-star retirement. Matawale, Wike, Okowa, Umahi, Ganduje to get mansions and exotic cars.
All right, let's go to the world of sport. Arsenal held by Liverpool in blow to Premier League title.
Yes, that was on sports. Moving on, we have Nigeria would emerge one of greatest world economies, says Anglican Bishop.
Okay, Igbo no longer wanted in Nigeria, being treated unfairly. That's coming from the indigenous people of Biafra.
Ipob. Yes, boy set ablaze for stealing Android in Calabar.
Damn, that's so sad.
That's so sad.
10 months after attack, our church reopens for service.
Thank God, probably because it's Easter.
Well, maybe Easter Day, the resurrection of Jesus Christ, just to mark a new beginning for the church. But I also think, setting a boy ablaze because of an Android phone. I'm not saying it's bad. It's good to do that. Or it's bad to. I'm not saying it's good to steal or something, but going to the extreme of actually burning some jungle justice. You've gotten the phone already, then why should you burn the bomb?
They could have just taught him a great lesson, and but in this country, like most places in Nigeria, they love jungle justice, probably to teach others, to show them that if you do nonsense, you will collect. But what about handing the person over to the police? Even though some people don't really trust the judgments of security personnel, maybe that's why they didn't want to do that. But stay away from crime. That's all I can say. Stay away from crime, because crime is evil.
Yeah.
Be a good compatriot and stay away from it. I'll always say my busted report.
Yeah, that's true. So stay away from crime and also stay away from jungle justice. So remember the what happened? These 4 guys that they killed. That was actually that Linda Ikeji actually used to shoot a movie or something.
Yes.
Those guys were actually innocent.
That was in Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
I think that should be 2012.
So yeah, 4 guys their lives were just cut short due to the fact that they were being lied against, that they stole the system. Whereas it was the other guy that was owing one of them money.
But mind you, I believe what happened was they were seen at the right place but at the wrong time. So you just be so vigilant and avoid trouble.
Also Matawale, Wiki, Okowa and the likes, getting humongous bonuses just because they served for 4 or 8 years thereabouts.
That is why I always say most of these are political politicians, leaders, yes, political leaders. Once they get into power, they don't want to leave because they know what they get. They know what they get in that set of power. That's why once this one finished from being a governor, do not get into a senator, because they know that there is huge stuff
Huge
coming out from
benefits.
benefits coming from this place. That's why they do that most times.
All right, still moving on the program. You're watching Lagos this morning. You can be part of this program by hitting the like button. You can also drop your comment. What do you feel
Yes.
about some of the top stories that we've actually mentioned today? Let's go straight to the newspaper
Headline.
front pages that we have for you today. Firstly, let's take a look at New Telegraph. Yeah.
Yes, on the New Telegraph, right on the front page, we have Tinubu's cabinet. Payback time for Northern APC governors.
Okay, former AGF Bola Ajibola dies at 89.
10th NAN's leadership, Akpabio may drop ambition.
All right, Senate indicts budget office for unlawful approval of 19 billion naira to MDAs.
Yes, coming from Bishop Kuka, he said, we pray God guides Buhari in retirement.
Yeah, amen. The God guides him.
Yeah.
Okay. JAM fixes new date for 2023 UTME as rescheduled. Mock exam hold tomorrow.
And then lawyers seek review of timeline for petitions hearing.
Okay. What else do we have? Yeah. FAAN oil marketers Vika over new tax regime.
Yes, former AGF Bola Ajibola, 89, dies buried.
Okay, let's move on to the next one here, which is the Vanguard. On the front page of the Vanguard, we have on supplementary polls, opposition parties rally to seize control of National Assembly.
Yes, on the next one, on Financial Vanguard, we have federal government initiative on non-oil export failing.
Okay, Nigeria's oil production drops to 2%, drops by 2% to 1.517 million barrels per day.
Yes, Nigerians frustrated by election outcome coming from Bishop Kuka.
Alright, still on the front page of Vanguard here, Adesanya beats Pereira with stunning knockout.
Yes, ex-AGF Bola Ajibola dies at 89 as Buhari, Tinubu, Abiodun, others mourn.
Nigerians frustrated by election outcome that is coming from the Sokoto Bishop Kuka.
And JAM to commence 2023 UTME on April 25th.
Okay, so that's what we have for you on the front page of the Vanguard. Let's go to the Sporting Sun in the sporting world. Haaland on same level as Messi, Ronaldo. Who said that? Guardiola. I don't agree with Guardiola. Can they say Haaland is on the same level with Ronaldo and Messi?
Well, maybe I don't know who the person is, but even though I love sport, but okay, Chukwueze said that I worked hard for Real Madrid last goal. Thanks fans in Spanish after praise in Real Madrid tie.
Yeah, I think Real Madrid has actually been doing not too good in their league, but they are doing exceptional in the Champions League. And they have Chelsea in their next game. And I think Chelsea fans are actually looking at Madrid and see Madrid is not, they're like invisible when it comes to Champions League. But I think Villarreal has actually showed that Real Madrid is not unbeatable. So I think it would actually give Chelsea a little bit of hope, and they still have chance against them.
I'm a Chelsea fan, but Chelsea have not been doing well for the time being, so they should not really get their shoulders too high because nobody knows what's coming for them.
Yeah, okay. Arsenal forfeits 2-goal lead in draw with Liverpool.
Yes, Champions League, Napoli to drop Osimhen to bench for Milan. Nigeria star trains alone on Easter Day for Milan.
Alright, Man United slaps 50 million euros price tag on McTominay.
Tiger Woods ball from 1997 Masters features, that's $64,000.
Ancelotti insists no excuses after Villarreal defeat.
Okay. Sports. Okay. Bayern suspenders to Man U in race for King.
Alright, let's move away from the sporting scene now to the front page of leadership. We have at the top left corner, we have avoid chip top, fix Nigeria, Kuka tells Ashwadi Tinubu.
And the next one we have 15 killed, burnt beyond recognition in Enugu crash. That's so sad.
Labour blames shoddy privatization for Nigeria discos, others take over.
Oshibanjo governors can rejoice with Christians at Easter. You see that on page 6 of Leadership newspaper.
Concerns over renewed terror attacks after 2023 polls. That is on page 4 of the leadership.
Journalists, writers launch book on Oshibanjo on April 28th.
President Muhammadu Buhari, IBB, Atiku, governors, ex-justice minister Bola Ajibola.
Here we are having concerns over renewed terror attacks for 2023 polls. Security experts fault president marching orders to service chiefs without result, and also they are already writing their handover note serving IDPs desert camps in Benue State.
Yeah, that's all about
Surviving, rather.
the leadership. Let's go to this day. The front page of this day, you have it right there in front of you. Autumn will not be provoked into taking up arms against anyone. As Atiku condemns Benue Zamfara killings, urges federal government to protect citizens. Police confirms escalation of banditry in Sokoto. Informants sabotaging our efforts. Military official hints.
Okay, Faleke on rotation of governorship. It's turn of Kogi West for fairness. I mean, from justice and fairness, rather.
Okay, at Easter, Nigerian leaders advocate love among people as Oshimbajo, CJN, Khan, Obaseki, others urge reciprocity in Christ-like values.
Tributes pour in as Bola Ajibola, 89, is buried in Abeokuta. Buhari, Obasanjo, IBB, Tinubu, Oshibanjo, Atiku, Lawan, Abiodun, Sanwo-Olu, others mourn and pay last respect.
Well, I think there's something about this Easter and the Nigerian leaders coming out to advocate for love among the people. Few weeks back, they were not saying these things.
See, whenever is festive season like this, be it Christmas, be it Easter, be it Ramadan, and
the New Year,
or the New Year, they will always come out to say something, you know, to advise Nigerians or to admonish Nigerians on how to do good to their neighbors, live right. And after this festive period are over, everybody go back to being themselves.
Okay, let's move on to the next front page, which is the punch. Yeah, let's add.
Asset declaration, defaulters may be removed from office.
Okay, Christian Association of Nigeria, governors, others preach love at Easter. Love, love, love. Let's love our neighbor as ourselves.
Yes. Marketers seek CBN loans for 30,000 gas stations. Gas stations to caution subsidy removal effect as PMS may sell for 750 naira per litre. And then NATO wants end to subsidy. NLC to meet incoming government over removal date.
Okay, Bishop demands justice for 41 Owo attack victims as church reopens.
Federal state lawmakers to get 49 billion naira. For
They'll get that on the read more. I think page
you read
3.
more on page 3 of the Punch.
Bandits slash ransom for 85 Zamfara abductees.
Yes, federal government bans online banks from accessing customers' photos, contacts. I think that's okay.
Okay, on the next one, Nigerian Tribune. On National Assembly presiding officers, APC governors may open talks with aspirants.
Traffic chaos looms as trucks besiege Lekki port for cargoes. Absence of holding bear worrisome. Truckers electronic call up coming soon, coming from NPA.
Alright, Bishop Kuka to Buhari. I don't know whether you are fulfilled as president. I think you'll have to ask him personally.
Me or our president?
No, the asker and the asking.
Okay, that would be better.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fair enough. 10 months after Owo Church reopens and amid tight security.
Yeah. Well, last year when we actually had the Owo attack and the likes, I think there should be more of justice for the people, and also there's no way you can compensate people for the lives lost. It's not possible. So you can't bring back the person that's gone. But there should be a kind of if there is a kind of not even stipend this time, because stipend is very small. There should be a sum of money whereby you actually give to these people to relieve them at least a little bit. I don't know if any of these victims actually received anything from either the state government,
because some of these people,
government.
they are breadwinners, the breadwinners of some of their families
of the
were
families.
lost.
So they can't just open this thing like that. And there's a particular reverend who came out to say that he's seeking justice for those 40 people. And have they been able to arrest those assailants and actually carry?
Who even know who the assailants are?
Nobody
know them.
So if they've
I
not
was,
been able
I was
to
hearing
arrest
several
them,
stories. They are ISWAP, they are Irish, they are this and they are that. So who are they exactly? But I believe that no matter what happens, these things needs to be it needs to be contained.
exactly.
They need to curb this insecurity, because this Owo attack, this happened 2 years ago, I think 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
1 year ago.
A
10
year
months
ago.
back.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah.
When that story came up, look at the amount of people that were killed, what this thing cost in Ondo State then, and then there's a governor there who cannot even give account. Yes, who cannot even give account. Okay, have these perpetrators of this crime, have they been fished out? The answer remains no. So as a country or as a state, whereby you are the number one person there, what are you doing to make sure that this kind of thing doesn't repeat itself again? Even at that, there have been more reports of killings in the same Ondo State even after the Owo attack.
All right, moving on to the nation. We have governors under pressure over security vote spending.
APC asks tribunal to dismiss APM petitions. Attacked Owo Catholic Church reopens months after.
Oshibajo, Obasanjo, others pay last respect as Ajibola's burial.
Yes, election petitions. Kuka urges judiciary to do justice. Cleric asks incoming government to keep Nigerians alive.
Okay, let's go to the front page of Daily Sun. We have a Kuka to Supreme Court. Don't disappoint Nigerians.
Yes, day of blood, sorrow in Lagos, Enugu. Government kill police, injure others in Lagos. 15 burnt to death in Enugu highway crash. That's so sad, actually.
On the 10th National Assembly, groups endorse Orji Uzokalu for Senate President.
Cardinal Opaleke knocks CBN over Naira redesign. Don't allow economic, political situation weigh down your faith in God. Bishop enjoins Nigerians.
Yeah, on CBN, total inflows to investors, exporters, Windows eat $1.49 billion in March.
Let's go back to this. Don't allow economic, political situation weigh down your faith in God. Bishop, don't allow. Do you know, when someone is suffering, there's no amount of advice you give to the person that will heal the wound.
Heal the wound, exactly.
How can you see someone who is going through a lot of things and then you're telling the person, don't allow, what have you done to make sure that this thing is being alleviated?
Exactly. I think it's a practical solution, not even emotional one now, or let's say spiritual.
Because most people in this country, the only thing they understand, the only language some people you can give to them, the only language some sort of people in this country understands is your hand being stretched out towards them. Yeah. And if that is not coming forth, whatever you say is none of their business.
They say a hungry man is an angry man. So you can't be telling an hungry man to, let your faith in God be strong and the likes. Don't let any economic downturn to make you feel down or something. I think it is just a misplaced priority, doing the wrong thing, doing the right thing at the wrong time. When someone is hungry, the person does not need your advice or your prayer. He needs food. Someone can be walking barefooted now. You are giving the person puff. It doesn't work that way. You have to give the person slippers, something to protect his or her legs. So I think they should be stretching something forward to those people. Maybe when you now give the person and the person eats, that's when you can now advise that person. That advice will actually stick.
You not say, see, bro, this thing can't come often, so you have to use your faith at some point. Not when the person has nothing at all, and then you're giving out. But I'm not saying that. Of course, we are God's children.
Yeah.
Provided you are God's child, you already have a measure of faith deposited inside of your spirit. You understand? But then, to an extent, when you are ought to do good to someone, don't do good before you. What I mean is,
advising.
when you ought to stretch forward your hand to someone, to reach out to someone, do it, then let the other one come as well. It will help.
Okay, Buhari governors Kalu Federal Executive Council, others mourn as ex-Justice Minister Ajibola dies at 89.
Enugu APC suspension of Nnamani Chime orders unconstitutional, coming from legal advisor.
Okay, on the last one here, we have The Guardian. UK revises foreign health workers recruitment, returns Nigeria to red list countries. Which means they would stop recruiting from Nigeria.
Please. Okay, we're having here Kuka tax Nigerians, next government on nation building. He says, for now, the most urgent mission is to start a psychological journey of making Nigerians feel whole again, of creating a large tent of opportunities and hope for us all. You will see that on news page 8 of the Nation newspaper.
Okay.
The Guardian.
The Guardian, yeah. How Agbero multiple dues spike transportation cost by 25% in Lagos. We get more on that on page 4 of The Guardian.
Outrage over bill mandating 5-year pre-licensing practice for Nigerian trained doctors. Bill poorly researched, rails out inaccurate figures. We also have FG's brain drain committee report, not implemented, group inactive for months. If bill becomes law, government officials should also stop medical tourism, coming from Tomori.
Yeah, we actually think that should be a 50-50 case, because the past few days we saw a particular lawmaker in the Lagos State House of Representatives. He actually came up with a bill, he sponsored a bill that medical practitioners in Nigeria that are being sponsored or their fees are being subsidized by the government after they are done with their schooling and what have you. So they should be able to serve Nigeria for the next 5 years before being given license. And it has been generating a lot of reaction. Some people are saying that it should be that way, and then other people are saying that it should not be that way. That why should they actually do that? Why would you actually tell someone, okay, let's say for an average medicine course now, you study that course for 7 years. Let's say, okay, ASU normally will bring his own plans into it, because while the student is planning, ASU is also planning their own. Let's add 1 more year, that's 8 years. Then you serve your NYSC compulsory service 9 years. Then adding 5 more years to it from the government, that is 14 years before you'll be given license. Now let's say you got admission into the school at the age of 20. So now add 14 to 20. So you now get your license by 34 years of age before you'll be able to travel anywhere. I think it's just like I think our lawmakers are at some point in time they leave the root of the problem, then they start treating something else. They know that there is rot in the medical system of Nigeria, and that's why our leaders are running abroad for medical tourism. And you want these people to stay in Nigeria against their wish. And I always tell people, I actually discussed with a colleague of mine, last week we were discussing it, and he was saying, okay, the government is not replaying and blah 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 blah. I was just like, now tell me one advantage of that bill. How can you hold someone down against the person's will? I asked them, you as a person, can you allow an angry doctor to treat you, or a doctor who is not ready to work to treat you?
Imagine having a surgery, you forgetting scissors in your stomach.
Imagine. And there are some kind of profession whereby it is not physical. I used to think that physical profession is very hard before I now tested a mental profession, whereby once your mood swings, there's nothing else you can do anymore. So I think to some extent that bill is just a way of modern enslavement of our medical practitioners, and it's against the Nigerian constitution as well, because there's freedom of movement for anyone to go out or travel out anywhere without interference of the federal government.
That's the truth, honestly. I think we need to go on a short break now. We'll be on a short break now. When we'll be back, we'll take the stories one after the other. Take the top story,
the top discussion for the day, and you'll also have the opportunity to contribute. There will be a number in your comment section. You'll be able to call in and also drop your comments to join us in the discussion. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Yes.
100 Nereko. That's Seko.
I don't think.
100 naira eko. That's some bus eko.
Alright guys, welcome back to the program
Lagos
this morning. We have a lot of feedbacks here. Let's take a look at some of them.
Yes, please, before we read this out, if you're watching this program this morning, please do well to hit on the like button and of course
Smash the like button.
drop your comments right there on the comment section. Let's know what you think. You can as well call us in. There'll be a free number provided for you on the comment section. You can call through the number. Let's know what you think about the topics we have today. Okay, we have a comment from Pets Olu. He says, so you guys are still in Nigeria? Yes, we are still here in Nigeria.
We're still in Nigeria.
Okay, Majed said, good morning, guys. Good morning to you, Mr. Majed. Mr., Mrs., Miss, I don't know, but good morning. Ademola Atanda, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. I believe it's afternoon where you are. You're still in a morning, Joe. Yes, Pet Olu said 20 years to study. He laughed there. I told you guys Nigeria is hell on earth. Medical without electricity, Nigeria equal to hell on earth.
I think Mr. Petoglu is not in Nigeria.
No, he's not.
He's not in Nigeria. Well, it says there's this saying that it's not everybody that will be able to japa. And we can't japa now. Let's just find a way to make things work.
Yeah.
For ourselves in Nigeria, right? Yeah. Okay.
And that's the truth. Okay, let's take a look at the top stories we looked at before. I think we discuss them now at this point.
Yeah.
Nigerians frustrated with election outcome. That's coming from
Bishop Kuka. You know, Nigerians are actually. I saw a particular report yesterday of someone saying that the 2023 election was the most peaceful election, and I was like, does this person have a selective justice system in his or her brain or something? Because you can't just pick a part of this thing. I'm not saying that it is 100% bad or something, but there are some pockets of violence everywhere. Right, in Lagos State here, Oyo State, Ogun State, River State, and the likes, even Anambra State as well. We saw that day that there was violence, there was ballot box snatching, there was a situation whereby the what was it called? The result of the president was not being transmitted electronically as being promised by INEC. So for someone to come out to say that election is actually free and fair, then that person must be deceiving himself or herself.
No, I was speaking with someone early this morning. I told the person I don't really know what Nigeria and Nigerians think. You know, in a country with over 200 million people, we saw some things that were so obvious.
Too obvious.
You know, there is ballot box snatching. Now, this man saying that Nigerians are. Why won't Nigerians be frustrated? Definitely, a well-thinking and reasonable Nigeria at this time would definitely feel bad with the outcome of the election. You know, because in Lagos here, there were pockets of violence which was so obvious. We saw what happened in Sulere. We saw what happened in Etiosa local government area. We saw what happened in Alimosho. It almost all the places in Lagos. We saw the things that happened, and then it became so funny that some people came out to say that this election is the most critical election that Nigeria have ever conducted. I'm like, wow. Probably they're not in Nigeria. Maybe they did not even cast their votes or they didn't even say anything. But then Nigerians being tired of the outcome of the election results. So what is the way forward? Yes, we are tired. You know, they even made some people to you have things to say, but because of fear of the unknown,
exactly,
you just let me risk it. Even though I know what I want to say, even if I have things I want to say, even if I know how I want to say these things, but I don't talk. so that they will not say they
You
don't
said
talk.
this,
You understand?
or the fear of being picked up by.
Yes, you just decide to like, okay, let's swallow it, and that is the point where we are in this country now, whereby people are now so scared of speaking out.
Exactly.
You understand? This singer, Fowls, the bad guy, he made a song titled
Mr.
Yakubu.
Yakubu.
You understand? And that with Vector and a lot of people, I saw some faces there, you know, like dressed in Hausa, different culture represented, and people are not dropping their own hit too about the song and all of that. And someone was asking, call your son to order. Did you see that report?
Yeah.
We have
They told Femi Falana to call
his son to order. Then Femi Falana said that the reason why his son comes is because from a child he has always seen his father being picked up, being arrested. You know, we are in that, okay, these people are not speaking, and I say, what did you do exactly? They just want, nobody should just stop. Even when you are seeing things going wrong, don't just say a word. Yes, Nigerians, we are tired. Nigerians are frustrated, you know, but then, in the midst of tiredness, in the midst of the frustration, what can we do? Nothing, because if you say too much, you might be in for it.
Alright, we have a comment from Mr. Pet. He said, no, my brother, I left Nigeria 2001 to Germany. Actually, I have an uncle there too as well. Don't worry, very soon I'll be joining you guys there.
Yeah, he said INEC has the final say to your PVC. Well, is it supposed to be like that? Do you know, in a sane society, you know, 300 billion naira was budgeted for the election. You know, and then you give an assurance that with the BVAS, elections, the results will be transmitted electronically direct to the INEC server.
Yeah. And
then the Senate transmitted, House of Rep transmitted, then getting to the presidential results. It could not be like, don't you? I know you are supposed to answer to that. You understand? And then if one comes to ask questions like, what happened? They'll start looking at you as like, are you trying to teach us about you? No.
Exactly.
Are you trying to tell us that we don't know what we are doing? You get? See, I don't want to talk too much this morning because we just came back, right? So
let's just say, okay, aside all the shenanigans that actually happened during the electioneering process, now the election has ended. People are now coming back to being Nigerian. I said in past few months that by February 25 or something, we would now stop being APC, PDP, Labour Party, NNPP, and the likes. We now go back to being Nigerians, and now we are coming back to them. So now, what is the way forward? Right now, there is tribunal in court, Labour Party, PDP, and the likes. But as of today, we still have Ashwadi Tinubu as the president-elect. And Bishop Kuka has come out to say that he should avoid cheap talk and fix Nigeria. So where does it start from, fixing Nigeria? I think it should start from the psychological aspect. Because many people feel disconnected, many people feel aggrieved. They don't even want that name anymore.
If you ask me, to fix Nigeria is very easy. Right now, we have a pending case or a pending issue. Let's start with solving them.
Yeah.
Some people have come out to drag INEC to court, to even drag the president-elect to court. To fix Nigeria, to me, I feel that we will start by, okay, fine, I want this election, let's go to court. Let me prove it to everybody. Let me prove it to Nigerians. Let me prove to the world that I actually won this election. Come out clean. Don't hide nothing. And everybody involved, don't try to boycott anything. Don't boycott anything. Just come out and make it let it be aired or live, so everybody can see. Okay, at the end of the day, he actually won this election. Okay, INEC, yes, it wasn't their fault actually. Yes. The Beavers had issue. No, it wasn't their fault. That is, to me, that's where the fixing should start from. But if you say there's no point going to court, bearing in mind too that you told them, okay, if you think you're not comfortable with this,
go to the court. Exactly.
And then they went to court and they're trying to do all the mago, let me use that word, pardon me, that is involved, and then you come out to say we want unity, forgetting that there is something that you're not dealing with.
Exactly.
And if I were the sitting President Muhammadu Buhari, with all due respect, sir, I respect you, you're my leader, you're my president, but then before you leave office, make sure that you do the needful. You leave the seats. There's a word I want to use. On a clean slate. Just live on a clean slate. I'm leaving you guys. There's a president coming in, but I want to do things clean so that I can leave this team, so that everybody can see the picture that I tried my best, you know.
But
So I wouldn't miss you much.
But don't you know, it would actually, you know, the way you are looking at it now, that it should leave with a clean slate. He can come out and tell everyone that he has left. He's living there with a clean slate. You know, that clean slate will be based on his own perspective of what clean means.
That is why when you are in power, you are not just the only person there. You have people that work with you. And I told someone something, I think that should be 2 weeks ago. When someone who is very close to you, or when people who are very close to you cannot tell you the truth about your true self, they're not your friends. You understand? It's good to have people who think alike.
But do you think that's possible in Nigeria politics?
See, as a human being, you are first of all a citizen of the country before you are a president, before you are a governor. You are first of all a citizen, and that is why some of our leaders have failed to understand. Before you occupy that position, you were an ordinary citizen.
Ordinary citizen of Nigeria.
So, as a reason first, as an ordinary citizen, whether you can pinch yourself and say, if I was not in this power, if I were to be these people, how would I feel with these present situations on ground? They try to fix it that way. That's what I'm saying. Like, because they don't want to see themselves to be citizens first before they are who they are over there. That's why they cannot do the right thing.
Exactly.
And you understand? Because let's say let me deviate a little bit. A man of God. Before you are a man of God, you are a man. So that is why sometimes they will act as a man they are.
Yeah.
You understand? And I told someone once, some of these preachers you see, they are only men of God on the pulpit. When they leave that pulpit, they are just like us.
The of God have left the man.
You know. So that, to me, that's the same thing with these leaders. They are presidents because of the office they occupy. They are human beings as a person.
Yeah.
So reason as a human being and leave the office that you're occupying for at least, so that you can reason and feel the pain of the people.
Wow. Yeah. Majority of them are actually, they can't feel the people's pain, because an average Nigerian governor is not being brought up from the lowest of the lowest homes. See, so when you are not from the streets, you can't feel the people's pain. Okay, let's say a particular governor now, you don't expect light to go off in governor's office or governor's house. It's not possible. Or a governor to be trekking on the road, should be going to the filling station to queue for petrol. It's not possible. He does not even know how everything comes, but everything just comes. It just appears to him, probably in his office or in his comfort zone. So how does he feel the people's pain? It's not possible. So an average Nigerian politician, average Nigerian leader, a governor or House of Rep member, I share something. For this Matawale, Okowa and the likes, those people that are going out now, the outgoing governors that will be retiring now, majority of them have actually prepared humongous benefit for themselves after just 8 years of service. Now imagine those people in the civil service that have served for over 20 years. Imagine our teachers, our lecturers out there, even our soldiers fighting for Nigeria that have been there for years. They have nothing to. Majority of them, they are still even owing them pension. But you serve for 8 years, then you give yourself a lifetime benefit. Just 8 years. Some people just 4 years, but they earn the same salary as the sitting governor, and they are giving themselves mansions, exotic cars, where Nigeria is wallowing in debt. That means they don't even love Nigeria at all.
And then the money they use in acquiring those things are still public money.
Of course. It's not their money, and Nigeria now is in debt. That one is China has even refused to borrow us money now. We have to go to another country to even borrow money now. They've stopped borrowing us. So now Nigeria is in debt now. Most of all these governors that are going out now, they can't even pay off their workers. Some of them are hoeing. Then you're giving yourself that kind of benefit. So why are you now in power? Are you there to give yourself benefit or to serve the people? The people should be the one to give you, to say, okay, you deserve this thing, and not the other way around. It's something else. It's something else.
See, do you know the reason? Because they don't really care what you think about them. They don't really care. Whatever you think about them, that's your opinion. They are only concerned about what they can acquire for themselves. Even though I don't think it's all of them, the majority of them. Not all of them. Yes, I like that. Okay, that brings us to this report. Ipob saying that Igbo no longer wanted in Nigeria, being treated unfairly.
Yeah.
Because these our leaders, they don't really have a heart of empathy. They're only concerned about themselves. So they don't really care about what an average Nigerian is going through there. Whatever happens to you, sort it out. Okay, something happened yesterday. There was this young man who was just going on his own, and then I thought SARS has been disbanded. And then this guy said that SARS operatives stopped him. I mean, either yesterday or on Saturday. They stopped him, scattered his bag. They were looking for weed. But this guy doesn't smoke. Well, they wouldn't know if you don't smoke though. So they scattered. But my point is, when I heard SARS, I'm like, wow, SARS. I thought
They are still active. They've disbanded them, several times. Maybe they refuse to be disbanded. They themselves. Well, it's just I actually think our leaders out there, there are some things they've done in the past that's not so good. The fact that they've removed history in Nigeria's curriculum, like the real Nigeria history.
Because what they said that they are studying now, I don't think is history.
It's not. Even what we were being taught in school was that, okay, what's this man's name called? Discovered Niger Delta, discovered River Niger, discovered River Benue and the likes. They're telling us the history of the white men.
Okay, they said they discovered. Do you want to tell me that there was no river until it was discovered? Like when I said they discovered, okay, the river was there, but it was not known.
See,
and then
river, people were living around that place. They met people there. So how can you claim to have discovered a river that has been there for years, for even ages? How can you claim to discover that? And I also think on this Ipob story and the likes, I've heard numerous versions of the story. Until our people in government bring out the legit story, we will never know what really transpired.
Or until you meet someone
who actually tell you,
who actually know the
and
history.
even the person will tell you from his own perspective. When you get to another person, the person will actually either add more or subtract more.
Yeah.
So there is nobody to give us the full gist, but they now weaponizing that information. An average person now will say, okay, Igbo person, the Igbo man, they did something there, Biafra, they killed this person, they did the first coup. You start seeing the person as a bad person. An average Yoruba person will say, Yoruba people, they are betrayers, they are this, they are that. So until that story actually come out to everyone, and let's know who is to be blamed for doing this, for this fact,
about
then everything will actually calm down.
It was being treated unfairly, no longer needed. Sometimes because I am an Igbo girl, sometimes when I say something, they will be like, you're being true.
Like because you are Igbo.
It's because you are Igbo. But no, look at it this way. The president of Nigeria is an Hausa man.
Yeah.
The VP
is a Fulani man.
The VP. Okay, I mean the sitting president of the country.
He's a Fulani man.
The sitting president of Nigeria.
Yeah. He's a Fulani man.
Ushimani is Fulani.
Ah, sorry, president.
Oh wow. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The president is an Hausa man, is Fulani man, and then the VP is a Yoruba man. Then the Senate president is also from the north.
Yeah.
You understand? And then the Senate minority leader. Who is the Senate minority leader? I don't really know. I remember still when Enenia Baribe was the Senate minority leader, but I don't know who is there now. That's a research I have to go and do myself. And then a lot of it. Then the army general. Who is he? Igbos are just nowhere to be found. And then when they come out to say something, they hardly listen to them. Like they treat them like, who are you guys, or where are you coming from? And I believe that if they should agitate for anything, that is one of the reasons why. Because a lot of people have said, which I don't really know, that Igbos are being marginalized in Nigeria. They don't allow them, they don't really give them a voice. Though some people too have their reservations when it comes to that particular topic of Igbos being marginalized and all of that. Okay, me deviating a little bit. I this morning I had a discussion with someone this morning before I got to the office. I asked this person, like, why is it that when things are happening in our country, we don't really look well? We don't really look well because we have a president-elect, whose record, am I permitted to speak for that? Am I?
Has been alleged.
Has been alleged that there are a lot of history surrounding his personality. And then one of which is that he's an ex-convict. And from what we know, being a young girl that I am, I believe too you are, young man, an ex-convict is not allowed to lead. He's not supposed to lead.
From what I heard from someone and what I read online, I don't know how true it is, it said like it is 10 years after you've actually been convicted or something. that you can run. I don't know how true it is. But Bayo Onanuga said he came out. He later deleted the tweet. He said even if the president-elect has been charged for something before, he has been involved, that it's now beyond 10 years that he can run. So people are now like, okay, so before you were denying it, and now you've actually come out boldly to accept it, but because it is over 10 years. 10 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like, looking at all these things put together, we Nigerians, there are some things we need to actually be asking ourselves.
Exactly.
There are some questions that are not being properly answered.
When it comes
not just about the president-elect now, but every other
aspect.
Every other aspect. When things happen, I was asking someone the other day. There is this man who was arrested some time ago. Even he was being FBI.
This one.
Is a cop, like a very prominent one in this
maybe
country. Yes. Little or less have been heard of him in recent times, and what has been going on with him. And then there's this man who they tagged a kingpin, a kidnap kingpin, Evans. We've not even heard anything. Like, what has been happening? It's still on. Okay, like, I just want let's not wake up one day and hear that the man is dead, which might not really be. Then it's not be like a lot of things that happen in Nigeria.
I actually want to something to the Igbos being marginalized or something. From what I actually watched a particular video of where I saw, is it Afar Baliwa? Someone, I will actually bring the video on. That'll be tomorrow. So this person, a northerner, a revered person in the north, is said in the video that during those times, like 1965, 1966 or something, like the Igbos were dominating the army or so. So they felt like, okay, these people were dominating this space. Okay, sorry, the northerners were dominating all the top spaces. So from what I heard, I don't know how true it is, but that's the version from the person and from the video I saw. The person said, okay, so now the Igbos thought like, okay, these people are overtaking, they're taking up all these positions. Why don't we do this thing and this thing? Why don't we just remove these people from this position? Not by the ballot or something, by just taking them away. And then that thing happened, which led to the death of some prominent leaders in the north.
Okay.
There was now a reverse coup, I think a year after, which now led to the death of another person, or some set of people again. That first one led to the death of the premier of the Yoruba land here, Akintola, then other northern elite as well. So I think they form another group as well. Those that lost the first group, they form another group, they now fought against the Igbos. One way or the other, it started the whole issue. So I think the main problem was that Nigeria was not ripe for independence. While they were fighting for independence, they were fighting not for Nigerians, but for their own selfish interest.
Which is still happening today.
To you today.
When you see people, you just like, there's a lot of questions surrounding what our noble laureates.
Yeah, our Nobel laureate.
What he's been saying, because he's been saying a lot of things in recent times for the past 2 weeks now. People have been asking, what exactly are you saying, sir? Can you please, sir, come out plainly? Let's understand the basis of this your argument. Let's know where it's coming from. And there's some sort of people who said it's because he has something to gain, something personal to gain from the president-elect. So becomes my basis of argument this morning. Like, people do things or say things because of their own personal pockets.
That's it.
That is why I said initially, people need to put themselves in the situation, position of I am a citizen first before I am anybody else in the state of power.
Do you know why a majority of politicians will never do that? It's because they don't know the mind of their opponent. If they are putting the people first, the opponent might be putting only himself first. He might take them out. So they are like, why would I be doing this thing selflessly when everybody behind me wants to be selfish? That is why the majority of them are not being selfless with the people. I think we have a lot of feedbacks now. Let's take a look at some of them.
Yes, we have INEC, and Pet Olu says INEC has the final say to your PVC.
Yes.
The way forward, my sister, is to cut the British chain around our neck and be free. The hatred of Igbos in Nigeria is what will destroy the British contraction called One Nigeria. My sister, you are mistaken. Oh, Buhari, Oga of Boko Haram, your president is the president of this country. And for now, I'm still a Nigerian citizen. So, have you? Yeah, of course. Divine August says, British government is not our God. By combining us together, separation must be sure. One side of Nigeria is suffering. That means the combination is acceptable to others. Can you go to Britain and force them to stay in European Union? Stop being a slave, Nigeria. That's coming from Beth Olu. And not even 1 naira or 50 kobo to pay our children child support.
It's only God that is supporting us here.
God is our support.
Exactly.
You know, Psalm 23. The Lord is our shepherd.
We shall know.
We shall not want. Alright, evil politicians, yes, we want Biafra now. Give us Yoruba nation. George Omonakwe, the reason why one Nigeria can't work is that we are different people with different culture. Nigeria has diversity of cultures.
Yeah.
Language joined too, my brother at George. Okay. Good job, Flip TV, coming from Hannah and Bob. Thank you so much. My beautiful Igbo sister, I beg, denounce Nigeria. What you don't gain from Nigeria government? Gladys is everywhere. Nice one. Thank you.
Yeah, she's like MTN.
Oh wow.
Everywhere you go.
No, I'm not MTN actually. I'm me. I'm Gladys. Alright, Nigeria is not even good for animals. Some animals like electricity. Like, where is that coming from? Yeah, chicken do. Like chicken, all this broiler, like without lights, they won't sleep at night. So you have to give them light. Have you read one before?
We don't have lights. Does that mean we are animals?
No, he said some animals like electricity. So probably we are those animals that are not like. But I'm not an animal. I'm human.
Animal.
No, I'm human. I can't be
But
an
they said
animal.
we are higher animal now.
I don't know. I'm not an animal. Before you call me ape, please, I'm human. I'm not a baboon.
Don't live in this zoo.
I don't live in the zoo. I live in my house. Okay, moving on. We have one Nigeria is not a scam. Call it scammer. Even worse than scam. Wow. Nigeria is true definition of a failed state. Let's call a spade a spade. Hashtag break Nigeria. That's coming from Don John. Adekunle Yusuf, it is a lie that Germany are paying 500 for jobless and rent. What is your status in Germany? Are you an asylum seeker or a refugee? As a Nigerian, it will be hard for you to get refugee status. Liar. Okay? They are beginning to attack themselves in the comment section. Please, you can keep dropping your comments. Let's know what you think. Your comments will definitely help us this morning.
Exactly.
We also have George Monape saying, Igbos are not wanted in one Nigeria. We want to go. No way we want to stay. No way. Don John, Igbos should have their nation. It would be a persuader for Africa. Who no like better thing?
Yeah.
They increased it to 500 euros recently. It was 450 euros before. Okay.
You know, I hope that very soon Nigeria will get there. We'll get there whereby there will be stipend.
Before I was born, I've always heard it go better. Like things you get now, it's getting better. I remember when.
Wait, say something. Before you were born,
Yes, now.
you used to hear.
Sorry,
Where
before
were
now.
you?
You're not serious. Before now, while I was small, I used to hear it better.
Yeah.
You know, then we used to buy Coca-Cola for 250 naira. Yes, are you looking at me? I think I'm your
Coca-Cola for how much?
250.
250 naira.
25 naira. What am I saying this morning?
7 up. They used to give free drink. When you open the cork, then you just open that rubber that is under. You see free drink, you go and take it. No, there's no free drink.
You don't
anymore.
order.
They don't know that. So
You don't order. Okay.
back then there was a particular biscuit, orange goodies, 2 for 5 naira. You know, Costa biscuit used to have 6 in it with 5 naira. Now one Costa biscuit is now 20 naira with 45.
You remember those days that you go to someone's house and they give you guys a bottle of Mirinda. Do you know Mirinda? Then all of you will not share it in cup to not go around.
Go spot.
You go to someone's house, they give you Mirinda now and say, put your name like, what is this? Stuff like that. And yet we are still believing for things to get better by the day. And looking at the whole thing, I think, honestly, I don't know what is going on actually.
Alright, I think we should look at it. I should take a look at this Matawali and Wiki, other governors getting 5-star retirement package, exotic cars, mansions, then what's the excess of actually going there to serve the people? When once you are living, regardless of the state, the financial state you are living, your place, your state.
I really want to ask a question. All these
these
entitlements, are they the one gifting themselves, or
Of
is
course.
it the state that is giving them, or the country giving them as service well done, thank you for serving?
They are the ones giving themselves.
They are the ones giving themselves.
Exactly.
Even while the state is living on loan.
I do say something that the more we monetize politics in Nigeria, the more bad leaders will have. Demonetize politics. Let it be like the NYSC scheme, whereby you just go and serve, because NYSC is not somewhere you go and hand. You're going there to serve, and you're only collecting 33k for your upkeep for that moment, just for your upkeep. If you're not doing maybe other menial jobs with it, then you're able to save a little bit of money that is left to you.
I think they should do it that way, actually.
It should be that way. You should be going there. You see, you won't see anybody printing poster.
Because
We should be the one begging you to go and serve us, not the other way around.
not the way around.
Not you coming to beg for our vote. If you are begging for our vote, that means you are going there for your selfish interest.
If a core member can go serve for 1 year and you be living on them, you be living on 33,000 naira, and nothing else except the state or the place you were serving decides to do
And
something.
even some of
for
the
you.
majority of the state
Are not even paying. And see, you still beg them sometimes, like, please, you just have to. And not you forcing them. If you don't do this, who the hell do you think you are? Then you can go back home, not serve. I think we need to, our leaders, it should be like that. Not that you're serving, you want to just go into government because of what you're going to get when you're done. That's what
you
they
need
do.
to demonetize it, because the more we monetize it, people they buy forms for humongous fee, 100 million naira.
Just
to buy
like from. When I saw that, actually, I'm like, 100 million. Like, wait, 100 million. I'll be 100,000. Like, 100 million. That people have not even seen 10,000.
They are raising the bar, so an average Nigerian will not be able to afford that fee. That's why they are raising the bar so high like that. So I think regardless of all these stuff, that shows that our politicians are not really going there to serve us, because you can't just finish your office now, then you've allocated several mansions for yourself, exotic cars, a lifetime pension for yourself. Even if the country is going down the drain, you will still collect that money. I saw a particular report of former head of state and the likes. The money they are collecting is billions, and Nigeria is in debt. Why are they not saying that, okay, Nigeria is in debt now, don't worry, we'll forfeit this one for the next month, we'll forfeit our next month's pension, or maybe
we have
next
a
6
lot
months.
of selfish leaders, actually, and
They actually come out to chastise the present government that they are not doing well, but at the end of the month you collect your own pay.
The truth, majority of the people we have today, like an average Nigerian, if they go into the seat of power, they might probably do worse.
Because I always say something: if a country is working well, clap for the government, applaud them. And if it is not doing well, it is the government who will be responsible. Where there is no law, there will be no sin.
Yes.
So now, when and there's this saying that when the head is sick, the whole entire body will be sick as well. So when our leaders are not being accountable, we don't expect anybody to come from behind and be in that position and be accountable as well. It's not possible. They are not even accountable at all. They can just do anything and go scot-free with it. So by the time anybody, had it been they have been accountable, and someone behind, when the leader is not doing something wrong, it will be very hard for anyone behind the leader to do anything, because you will know. There's a particular, I think in Singapore or something, whereby once, even in China, I think they still do this tradition of death sentence in China, in Singapore as well. Once you embezzle the public fund, it is just better for you to commit suicide, because you know that there is no two-way thing about it. You're going to meet your ancestors. But not in Nigeria here. We've seen so many cases whereby people embezzle money, but they still come back to become governors, and they still come back to become leaders in the society. So it's just the system. If the system is working well, then we have good people in the country. It's not as if we don't have good people, but when good people are in a bad system, it will demoralize them. They won't want to do good anymore, because they will feel unappreciated. Okay, let's say someone comes into power now, he does everything openly, be accountable to everyone, then he leaves the seat of power, then the next person, truncate all the way effort on ground. It will feel like just a waste of time for him. So I think that's why most of them, they will go there with a good intention, and because they actually got to the seat of power through all these godfathers and the likes, settlement of people at the top, the cabal, they won't have total control on their administration. There will be people behind them telling them what to do. Just for them to get maybe the second time or something, they would have to be loyal to those people behind the scene. But you only be seeing the governor or the president saying, why is this governor not doing anything? But there are people behind the scene. They are holding the joystick.
He didn't put himself there.
Exactly.
Someone made him to become who he is, and he has to be answerable to the person.
Exactly.
Yeah. I also want us to look into this topic of our professor in this country. There is he called out the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party for a debate. There have been reactions on that issue. People were like, why don't you call the VP of the person that you've been backing all this while to go on a debate with this person? Are you a politician?
What I would say is that I think his emotion brought the better of him, because he shouldn't have just come out. It's just like a father telling his son come out for a debate. It is, to me, it's not cool. It's not cool at all for me. Because even that, respectfully, he wouldn't come out to say he wants to debate with Wole Soyinka. Okay. Because even most people that are talking, that are saying, okay, Wole Soyinka did, but like he's not been truthful with his words there by saying that he was using the fastest language. In 2015, some state people actually said they would actually form a parallel government if they don't get power. And a particular person as well in 2015 said if he doesn't get power or something, that both the baboon and something will be soaked in blood. Nothing happened. Nobody arrested them. Nobody came out to say it was the fastest language. But him now coming out now to say this is the fastest language. But during the electioneering process, during the election period, he didn't say anything to all the voter suppression. That was visible. We're seeing it, and the stealing of ballot box, whereby even our presiding officers were saying it openly that they would not transmit results electronically. They said it. There are a series of videos of it. So he was not talking then, and now you just come out from nowhere to say one person is. You want to dictate how someone should react to his pain. No, it's not possible. So I think he has gone too far by asking Dati for a debate. That is just like a son to him.
Something happened. Something happened. Okay, he's 88. Yeah. Wow, he's quite old. During we had kiosk closets over the weekend. That should be on Friday. We raised this topic in a kiosk closet, and some of us right there on set, we're like that these obedient people, they overreact. They overreact. Sometimes they don't even respect elders. It's also showing how they are made, stuff like that. So I try to paint a picture, because before now, this man has been saying a lot of things. There was no place where he actually came out to say, this is what I'm saying. This is the reason why I'm saying this. He would talk speaking from touching a lot of things, and he was not really hitting the nail on the head.
What he actually said is that I saw the video. He said the language that Dati Ahmed used, that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu should not be sworn in by May 29. That
he said we don't have a president-elect.
Yeah, he said if they swear him in, then that will be the end of democracy.
Okay.
He said it. So Wole Soyinka he came out to say that language is a kind of fascist language, like he's threatening piece of the country or something. But people said such things have happened in the past, and he did not come out to talk against those people. So why are you now talking against only this one person here? So I think Dati Baba Ahmed is to some extent reacting to the kind of pain of the average Nigerian out there in the street that feels cheated by the outcome of the election, because they actually declared the winner in the dead of the night while we were sleeping. We just woke up and found.
We just woke up. That was actually quite very funny. Be declaring a president-elect while Nigerians were asleep.
They said Jesus Christ will come like a
in the night.
All right, let's go for a quick break. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
100 naira ko, Estamban seko.
Alright guys, welcome back to the program Lagos
this morning.
You can be part of this program by hitting the like button, smash the like button area. Alright. Let's take a look at some feedback here. Alright, I can see Mr. Don John. He said Nigeria, Jaga Jaga. Well, that's a banger from Idris Abdulkarim back in the days. Okay,
You know, when that song was actually released, Nigeria was not the way it is now. Things were still way better.
It was still manageable.
Yeah, manageable.
But then we're seeing it as Nigeria was worse.
It was worse. We didn't even know what was coming in the future.
But right now,
what should they sing now? What should they sing by this time?
see, I think the average person. I think right now it's still pressure Tiba.
Pressure
Tiba.
Wala, pressure Tiba. Is that right?
Okay. Pet Olu said it go worse, no be it go better for we under Sharia law. Okay. Adekunle Yusuf, Germany pay even asylum seekers money, house and so on. Germany even pays citizens because of coronavirus. I collected 200 euros.
Imagine 200 euros. Woo. That's sweet.
Nigeria to pay people during the coronavirus.
Yes, and palliatives as well.
Yeah. Some of us collected the palliatives, some of us looted the palliatives.
Oh, you collected? Wow.
Which one?
I thought you said you collected.
I said some of us. I didn't say me.
The us now. So I thought you were part of the.
I was not part of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, moving on quickly on the program. You can part of the program by calling in. We have
Please,
a number.
there's a
in
number
the
there you
comment
can
section.
call in.
You can
Actually,
call in.
I actually want you can call in on this particular topic because that's actually I'm looking at that topic like I think people would react more to because
To the
that,
evolution you got of.
yes, because there's
Yeah,
a lot of reactions there on
And
social
now,
media on that
Some
topic.
people are saying that it should engage Chimamanda Adichie.
Adichie, which also
in
encounter
debate or
dates.
something. I
That
don't
is like
think-
father and daughter.
Yeah, I don't think from my own perspective, I would actually, if I were to be in that shoes, I wouldn't even think of the debate. I just feel like this man, yeah, like my father. There's no way I can debate with you, so I disagree with what you said. Just in a polite manner and just excuse him. So to some extent, I don't see the debate actually coming up. It would be a very wrong one. To me, that's me. Some people are saying that they should go ahead and do the debate and the likes, but I just feel like there would be after the debate, would they still be friends or something?
But what the issue there is, you are a professor,
Yeah.
right? You are a writer. So why are you calling on a vice presidential candidate for a debate? So if the debate is that important that you really want to know what these people
I
have,
think they want
why
to
don't
come
you?
and clarify the language used by saying that there's no way they can. But in actual sense of it, if they're actually swearing in, they said it didn't reach the requirement, which is 25% of the federal capital territory, which the all progressives didn't get. But though there's a way the court can actually twist some kind of laws whereby to suit one person or
it is actually in this election period that we're going to understand that English is something
it's very
else.
very wide. You
There is
can interpret it in so
between
many ways.
or and we don't know the difference now.
So to some extent, that kind of thing, I think they both reacted too much. They allowed emotions to take control of them. Both Dati Ahmed and
There's something I usually say
allowed
when someone is playing on your mind too much, there's no how that it will get to a point that you get emotional.
Yeah, exactly.
Either what's it called? Either joyful emotion or angry emotion. The emotion will definitely set in.
Yeah.
It now depends on you as a person. How are you able, or how can you be able to manage this emotion in order to allow it to spoil things?
Exactly.
Okay, there's something I actually saw online. This is not my words. I got this on Twitter, to be precise. Tinubu asking Professor Olusoyinka to front for him to import rice into Africa, and Lori Tinubu gifting him household items for their unfurnished home. You don't clear now. No wonder Olusoyinka became Tinubu's mouthpiece. I have said that the obedient are even more effective than the CIA in digging up facts. Don't ask for their trouble if you don't want to if you don't want your past dug up. The internet never forgets.
I always say something for people in power. When it comes to people in power, some people that are loyal to them is not really as if is like a loyalty based on the love they have for this person. It's all about leverage.
Okay.
Okay, let's say someone like a political leader, a very big political leader in Nigeria now. There are some people behind him that are loyal to him, not because they choose to be loyal, but because he has a sort of leverage over them. Let's say once upon a time he has helped this person to do one or two things. The person has no choice than to be loyal to
maybe
him.
let's say as we are here now, we are colleagues and we are working. There are some things about me that you know that probably in time to come, because I know that you know this secret of mine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it leaked out there, so I want to like work closely with you at all costs, even if I don't like you. I just have to be close to you so that you'll be able to protect and preserve my shitty past. You know.
Exactly. That's the way it is. So at times when you see some people being loyal, it's not as if they choose to be loyal. It's about the leverage, or you feel like this person, if you are against this person, you would be losing greatly, or you have so many things to lose. So you have no choice now to just play along and just feel as if okay, you're loyal to this person. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Moving on quickly, we have a particular Anglican bishop saying that Nigeria will emerge one of the greatest world economies. If we take a look at, I actually saw the report this morning, and I said, I take a look at some of the biggest economies in the world. This thing they are focusing on is religion. They are having more of industries. Their youths are out there working. They are not in mosques and churches doing things. They are working. They have more industries out there. But right now in Nigeria, we have more religious houses than industries. So how does a particular bishop say that will be greatest system? The Bible and the Quran, no doubt, they are scriptural books out there, but they are books of prophecy. Not a book that will give you the practical steps that okay, this is how you go about the economy, this is how you solve this thing. They are prophecy. If you don't go out there and walk, those prophecies in those books will not come to pass. It will not. If you don't go out there and emulate those countries that are doing well economically, if you don't, try to find out what kind of pattern are they using to succeed. China now, China is not a small nation. They are world power now. How did they succeed? A country like South Korea, a country like North Korea as well. There was a time whereby I heard, is it South Korea or North Korea? They closed their border and they said everything they'll be using, they would produce it by themselves. I've said this several times. Why can't we apply the same thing here?
There was a particular presidential candidate that said that he wants to turn in Nigeria from consumption to production, and a lot of questions arose. How are you going to do that? Even though we didn't quite get a clear explanation on how these things were going to be achieved. I actually say something like we are in this state where we are in this country, and then we have a president, we have leaders who are well to do, because you don't tell me that the leaders we have in this country, that they don't know what they are ought to do,
of course,
and how they are ought to be about it. They know, but because do I say they don't want to get themselves stressed up too much. They don't want to overcrack their heads. When they can actually appoint people who can deliver on these things, and then let things be done correctly the way it should be. Sometimes in this country we focus more on the issues other than the solution to them.
That's true.
You
dwell
understand?
too much
you
on
dwell too much on problems. When you've seen the problem, the next thing you should do, okay, now there's a problem, how do we solve it? Instead of looking for a way out, we just stay in the problem and start pointing fingers. Who is the cause? Who is not the cause?
Instead of leaving the person who caused this, then just focus on solving that.
Solving the problem. You've already identified the issue. Now, what is the way forward? Okay, now May 29 is just here.
Exactly.
It's just a month and few weeks here. We'll have a new president, and then there are pending issues. So what is going on? You understand? Everybody's just everybody's shoulder and eyes and anticipation is just on May 29. Want to see, okay, there are prophecies that have been said, this will not happen, that one is not going to happen. Okay, let's shall wait and see how you are waiting to see. All I'm finding a way to solve the process to not affect anything in time to come. I just pray that we actually wake up to our challenges we relax too much in this country.
Yeah.
Even the youth relax too much. They say there is poverty,
what
there
can
is
the
this, but we
youth-
relax
what
too
would-
much.
What does the youth? What can they do to change?
Someone
the
who,
gospel?
let's say you are in a position whereby you know that your voice will count. Utilize it. Don't be quiet. Something went wrong in the country. Let's even say nothing happened.
Okay.
But there were things that went wrong. See, there's something I believe that if you come out, you may not really come out, but if you use your handle that is being how they say it, verified, your verified handle, you doesn't, and you have people that are following you. You stay there, you keep hammering on a thing, you keep pushing it. See, it doesn't. There's something they say, truth. No matter how much strong a lie is, truth will always prevail.
Yeah, guys have
Understand?
short legs. They don't run far.
Yes, it will surely prevail. It's just like someone that came out to say something. Okay, from my own opinion, maybe it didn't quite happen in other states, but for where I was, or where I witnessed, or where I casted my vote, I witnessed these things which were not supposed to be so. And I'm calling on the attention of the relevant agencies to look into this and tell us why was this thing so. And only one person is saying that, whereas there are other places too that same thing happened, but only one person is trying to speak, others are trying to be scared. That when we have youth who can actually, yes, it's true. And one person is saying it from here, this person is saying it from here, it will draw attention.
Yeah, no, it will draw attention. There is attention. So, would it draw solution?
See, I believe
the likes of Femi Falana, the likes of Femi Falana and Daily Faroti and the other activists, they have been coming out several times for all these years, and nothing has changed. So that would even be, it will be more, it will weigh people down now. To say they will just be listening to us only. The next thing they will do is call you and even say, okay, the government will do this, they will do that. But by the time you go back, they go back to the drawing board, they won't do anything. After the NSAS, they set up different kinds of panel and the likes. What we saw was what happened again. This woman that was being shot, Ibrahim or something, on December 25. What has been done to the police officer?
That case is.
And we are talking about revamping the whole police force, the whole system. So when they are not really doing what they are supposed to be doing, that is what leads to the people getting angry and not feeling the one Nigeria anymore. Everybody see, an average Nigeria feels more ethnic than Nigerian. An average Yoruba man, Hausa man, Igbo man feels more Hausa, Yoruba, or Igbo than Nigeria.
Of course.
Because you don't have this sense of Nigeria is deteriorating gradually. You just feel like someone just does something now and it goes scot-free because you know someone who knows someone who knows someone in the high place. And because if you don't know anybody, don't even bother going to the police station because they will just throw away your file, your case file. Even if you are on the right way, even if you are on the right track, if you didn't do anything, you just maybe drag someone to the police station now, and the person has more money than you, forget it, it's gone.
Honestly,
I think the system they should if our leaders, if our governors, our president are not working towards fixing this country, then there's no way any youth can come out there. They will only tag you an Ipob terrorist, an insurrectionist. They will, DSS will pick you up, deal with you. By the time you come out, you will not be able to say anything.
You'll just be quiet.
Very quiet. So it will start from them. They shouldn't push it back to us. There was a time that Buhari said, okay, Nigerian youths are lazy and the likes. Nigerian youths are the most hardworking set of people in the world. I can say it anyway. Because there is no support whatsoever from the government. And Nigerian youths are still grinding and surviving every day. There is no support. Anyone who is getting support from the government should come out and say it. There is no support from anybody, but we are supporting each other, and then you are growing now, and you come out to say we are not.
Nigerians as a people, we are actually doing good. Do you know Nigerians support themselves?
Yeah.
To an extent. I'm not talking about the political Nigerians. I'm talking about the other set of
liberal
Nigerians. They are supportive to one another. You know, I used I saw what happened during the COVID-19. We had people who couldn't afford things, food. We had people reaching out to them personally to make sure that are you okay? How are you faring? And all of that. even during this, in the midst of this naira scarcity, people were still reaching out to people to make sure that how is your family? Hope you guys are okay. And then our government.
You know all these religious and ethno-religious what's it called, issues that we're having today. The agenda is being set by the political class.
Yeah.
Just look at this guy who won yesterday, Adesanya, who won, this Nigerian kickboxer. I think he's fighting for Austria or something. He won yesterday. So there was a man who walked onto the stage. He prostrated to him. I think maybe it's his father or his family member or something. He prostrated, and he went over to the other side as well to greet his colleagues, and he was saying Igbo kwenu.
Wow.
So in that way, he's not seeing himself as a Yoruba man. He was holding the Nigerian flag, not Yoruba flag or Igbo flag or Hausa flag. So I think when people go out there, we tend to be more united with ourselves. But when you come inside this place here now, inside this Nigeria, you tend to feel more like separated, like this one right now.
It's because of the things they put on our head. You don't understand. When you come to Nigeria, it's because of this person that this thing is not going this way.
Exactly.
You are the reason why this thing is
this
not.
tribe that is there.
But the question is it supposed to be like that? The answer is no. But because of what the political class have painted on our heads, we're not acting like that is how it is. It's because of them. They are the ones not allowing us. Okay, imagine Ipob saying that Igbos they want to go because they are not being counted as citizens or something like that. Igbo no longer wanted in Nigeria because they are being treated unfairly. You understand? So why won't an average Igbo man think this way after seeing what happened in Lagos State, whereby shops owned by Igbos were being burnt down? And there was no record that there was gas leakage or anything somewhere, or maybe there was something that happened. We just saw that okay, the whole shops, the whole building was on fire and it burnt down. How did that happen? And then the in quotes the what's it called? The people in charge, I don't want to mention names actually.
Yeah, exactly.
The people in charge of the governance of that particular place did not even say anything. And up to this time, I've not heard that, okay, there have been something done for those people who actually lost this, except for one person who actually stretched forth a hand of sympathy to them. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, if this person wasn't aspiring for this post, would he have done this? And I was just saying.
There are questions, series of questions that will be asked. So it boils down to our government. If they are ready to work, Nigeria will be okay.
Nigeria will be okay.
That's why.
If we just throw away this selfish mentality or selfish behavior, because most of our leaders, they are just selfish. They only care about themselves, not the other person. In fact, not our leaders. Most people. This is just about personal.
When a selfish
behavior.
person, when a selfish person comes into a particular space where there are selfless people, his selfish attitude will reduce. Even if it does not evaporate totally, it will reduce. Also, we feel like, why am I keeping this thing when everybody is sharing peacefully? It would feel safe to be selfless there. But when some people, before they become selfish, they were once selfless.
Yes.
But when you are being selfless, then someone takes an advantage of you. Someone takes advantage, like you now feel like a fool. Once you have an opportunity at the next time, you won't think of other people again. You will think of yourself first. Like, oh wow, I've done this thing before. They didn't even appreciate it. And someone came from behind to truncate all my effort and take my glory. By the time you get the opportunity again, nothing like that will happen again. You won't want to think about the people first. So I think to some extent, if the judicial system of Nigeria is working perfectly, everybody will sit up. When you can't just, okay, let's look at this case of Nikori Madu in the US. It's very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because he was actually doing this thing for the sake of his daughter. Had it been his daughter didn't have all this kidney issue, he wouldn't be there looking for someone to get kidney from.
Yeah.
So to some extent, what some of our parents actually go through to make sure we are fine, we are okay, we have no knowledge about it. And at times we just open our mouth, wow, and say, my daddy is not doing well, my mommy is not okay, she's not taking care of me. But there are times whereby before you even grow up, they sacrifice a lot for you to even, be where you are today, but you have no clue. So, but on the long run as well, imagine that was the case in that case happened in Nigeria. Would they have gone to jail? Many people would argue with you, would tell you that case would be, there is a term they use in the medical world. They say brought in dead. It's a dead and buried case. It won't even come up at all.
Okay,
so that is the system that
touching the aspect of a former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, writing to the UN
that they should temper justice with mercy.
How does that really sound? Because I feel that I understand you're trying to be human here. Since the Nigerian government is not doing anything to a former deputy senate president who has been locked up, or who is to be locked up in the UK for 10 years. And then
this is the first question to be asked is that, is he guilty of the offense that has been brought in his front? Is he guilty? If the answer is yes, there's nothing they can do to it. Because even if you are trying to plead for someone that is guilty, then probably you are an accomplice. Maybe you guys work together, you are the one looking for the kidney donor to give to him or something. That is how they would feel. So it's just better to distance yourself a little bit, or even if you would talk, don't really talk from the person's perspective. You can say something like, okay, the relationship that is between Nigeria and the United Kingdom, maybe they should. You can bring in an agreement that maybe the next time someone wants to go there for a transplant or something, they should just check the person very well, and if the person is not interested, they should send the person back. So you don't just go there and beg them. They are not like Nigerians that feel like, hey, Baba Kobi, it's my brother now, mo pardon now. You don't do that over there. Not as a working system. And then at times when you actually you are guilty of something, you don't even need to beg. Just bear the consequence. It's just for you. It's 10 years, you'll be back. Even if it is 20 years. Okay. Just know, see, for every sin there should be punishment. There should be. If Nigeria has been doing that kind of thing whereby someone, hijacks the ballot box, then you have been locked up for like 20 years of your life. By the time you come out, you'll be very old, you won't be able to go and steal.
Even the next person will think twice before going to snatch a ballot.
Exactly. So it's a 50-50 thing. Once I snatch this thing, if I'm being caught, then the next 20 years is gone. So would you even want to
just waste 20 years of your life in jail? So
I actually feel sorry for him because he did it because of his daughter. But now he was once a deputy senate president. While he was that deputy senate president, what was his contribution to the health sector?
Thank you. Because I saw that report. Someone said, if you were able to build a standard hospital in your home state, flying your daughter to the UK to get a kidney transplant you wouldn't have done that. You could have just done it here, and then you save yourself of the 10-year jail time that you've been sentenced to over there. At least here in Nigeria, you can pay anybody can even decide.
Some people are willing to even say
their own with that.
Like once they know that the two is working perfectly and one can actually work perfectly as well, they'll say one.
No, because you are scared that, okay, if I should do this here, what is the guarantee that they will do it well? Because while you were serving, you didn't do your work diligently and effectively. So you're looking for a better way.
Yeah.
Or how will I put it now? A perfect way to make sure that my daughter gets what she wants because you didn't do your own part.
And I also think while he was serving as the deputy senate president or something, while he served throughout any public office that he has ever held, if you have done well for the people and the people knows it, if you are in a problem, there's no way someone will come out and say, this man has really worked, let me help him. Someone will come out and give you the kidney.
Yeah.
But let's say you have been elected as a governor or deputy senate president or House of Rep, House of Assembly, and you didn't do anything to your constituency. Just like someone running Elter to donate transformers to his constituency just a week to the election, and you've been there for the past 8 years.
Yeah, you didn't do anything.
Now 1 week to the election, you came with transformer. Is that not daylight robbery? No, it's just like you are buying their vote. You're giving them the transformer to get back the vote. Now let's say for the past 8 years that they've been having issues of electricity there, you've been coming to them, keep in contact, keep in touch with them, solving their problems. Even if you're not solving it 100%, give them a sense of belonging. reach out to their elders there. Okay, sir, this is what we are doing now. So the next thing, what else should we do again? What's the problem of this community? What can we do to this place? Being in, synchronizing with them. You won't have any problem. You don't need to run a task out to be buying transformers when it comes to by 1 week to election time. So majority of them now, once they are in any problem, Nigerians will even run away from them instead of actually helping them. But there are some people in this Nigeria that if they come out and say they need a heart, some people will nearly give them the heart. Like, let them transplant my heart to you.
Imagine someone like Davido coming out to say, I need this thing. See,
when it comes to
he wouldn't
Nigeria
even come
now,
out to an open place to say it. People will be like, okay, this is why he's been quiet. What is going on? Are you sure you are okay? They will even protest on the streets, just like we saw some time ago. Why? Because these people, they've affected
positively.
they've affected people positively. And those people they've affected, or even those they've not really affected, because they know your heart.
Making us proud.
Because they know that this person has this kind of heart, that
Yeah.
if he knows I'm in this kind of situation, he will
Will
render
help me.
help to me. They will be willing to go all out for this
Exactly.
person. And I wonder why our politicians, like when they are in some kind of situation, nobody except those that are also in that level with them.
Mr. Petolu, I think is just blazing all over. I think he's a Gunners fan, he's an Arsenal fan.
Are you an Arsenal fan,
He's
Mr.
here today
Petolu?
with his gun, he's blazing. Look at what he said. He said during kidney transplant, you go here, go down Nepal.
But,
It's gone.
but honestly, imagine being in an emergency unit and then the NEPA just take lights.
During kidney transplant. You
And
don't
then-
know that blame. I beg, no, send me all your touch. Send me all your touch.
Oh my goodness, we just they play for this country actually.
Oh,
But
God.
jokes aside, I feel that our leaders can actually do much more. There is no point for any region in this country coming out to start crying. We are not being treated well. We are being treated unfairly. When like Nigeria, they've made us to understand and believe that Nigeria is one.
Exactly.
But with the treatments, all the zones that we're not getting a fair treatment.
Exactly.
It seems like a particular region is being treated more fairly
It's not even
than the
about a
others.
particular region. I think some particular set of people. Because in Yoruba land, you see people agitating for Yoruba nation.
Yeah.
In the southeast, you see people agitating for Biafra. Even some people up north are agitating for Arewa.
Arewa.
Even in the middle belt, some people are saying they want to stand as their, as a nation as well. So it's just as if some set of people are, taking the large chunk of the country, leaving only the crumbs for everybody just to fight for.
Well, I refuse to be one of those anybody's anyways. Well, honestly,
That means you're part of those people who are putting Nigeria in this
say
situation.
God is my source.
God is your source. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the program. You can still join us by calling in. There is a phone number in the comment section. Thank you all for joining us on the program today. Mr. Petolu, yeah.
Yes, we felt you.
Yeah,
So much
been
this
the
morning.
MVP so far, so good.
Yes.
Mr. George, Don John as well. Don John.
Yeah, we saw Mr. Majed.
Yeah.
He just greeted us and then he became so quiet on us.
Yeah. Divine August as well. Mr.
Ademola Atanda.
Majed and the likes. Thank you all for always being part of the program. So we discussed about so many things, from Nigerians being frustrated with the election outcome to also avoid cheap tour of fix Nigeria. Kuka tells Ashwadu Bola Tinubu, we still May 29 before it will be sworn in. I don't know.
Yes, they are
when things
fixed
can still
Nigeria.
happen.
I don't really know what the fixed Nigeria whatever is about, because if you ask me, the fixing Nigeria, like I said before, is going to start with solving the pending issue. There's an issue on ground. There are a lot of people who have dragged the INEC to court, dragged the
That's what he
APC,
actually said.
dragged. So we need clarification, because a particular what's it called set asking, please want to know how you got to the conclusion to the declaration that you made, and why was it declared when Nigerians were asleep. So I think fixing Nigeria will start from, because people need clarification and how the 300 billion naira was being spent on beavers that could not transmit presidential election results.
Okay, also on Abure remains our national chairman in Labour Party, that's NLC. There has been a little issue in the Labour Party between Julius Abure and the new self-acclaimed national chairman of the Labour Party, Mr. Apapa something like that.
Someone actually said that all these things, they are doing all these things to destabilize the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last concluded election.
Well, to some extent, I won't say they are doing it to affect him directly, but if we look at it very well, who is the most affected person with all these shenanigans happening? He's the one. As the Labour Party is just like APC versus Labour Party when it comes to all this whole issue, because there's a court case, someone coming to say he's the Labour Party chairman. Even when he was being asked on Channels TV yesterday that, do you have the backing of the obedience? He said, he didn't answer in the affirmative. He didn't say yes or no. You know, he just tried to play, around the question.
Do you know one thing I actually like Peter before? There was a time he appeared on a Rise TV. They asked him about Labour Party and the obedience. He said something that the obedience is bigger than him. They are bigger than Labour Party. So whatever crisis that Labour Party is having, in my own understanding and my own view actually, no matter the problem they are having, this man is not riding on the wings or flying on the wings of Labour Party. He's in a different pace.
He's in a different pace, yeah. Yeah, well, some people have actually said, some obedient actually came out to say, even if Peter Obi, say something they don't like, that he's gonna collect with.
Like, it's as if he doesn't even have a say of his own, like he doesn't have a word of his own. I don't understand.
And
like
also
yeah.
5-star retirement, Matawale, Wike, Okuwa, Umahi, others getting mansions.
Imagine people who have not, like, okay, for a typical example is Wike, who did what he did in River State, and from what we saw online, I wasn't in River State.
Well, he actually worked in River State.
Yeah, he worked flyovers everywhere. The last time I went there, actually. Yeah. Yes, everyone flying. Everyone have went down to fly in River State. Doesn't matter where you are.
And also, Arsenal being held by Liverpool in the blow. How can people call it blow to Premier League title race? How come? The last time we won there was 2012. Even someone they gave birth to them, it has not been in Premier League.
So you guys have not been playing ever since until this one?
No. You can't compare Liverpool with Arsenal. They have a better squad, a stronger squad, more experienced squad. Our average age is just.
If you guys had won, would you be saying the same thing?
See, we had the opportunity. See, I wouldn't be saying this one. I would have, been thanking my stars. Okay. But yesterday we actually, we were hanging on the thread that yesterday. But I thank God we actually came out with a draw. Our last 3 meetings was just like 5-1, 4-0. They actually humiliated us.
Mm-hmm.
Even not all teams will has gone to Anfield. Majority of the teams that have gone to Anfield, the top 4 teams that have gone to Anfield this season, they didn't win in Anfield. Even Manchester United, the almighty Manchester United, was defeated 7-0 on that same turf.
Manchester played well on Saturday though.
Yeah, they actually played well, but they've lost their main man Rashford to injury. He's now injured, so we'll see how they will actually react to that. And also,
other people say that too.
Arsenal going to Anfield to get a 2-2 draw. I think some people are seeing it as 2 points lost, but I'm seeing it as a point won, because they are seeing Man City as being invisible. That Man City would win all their matches, all their remaining matches, but I don't see it happening. Man City dropped points when we didn't even see them dropping points. So, and Arsenal as well. Arsenal have just 8 games till the end of the season, but Man City are still in the Carling Cup. They are still in the Carling Cup here, I guess, and they're also still in the Champions League, and they'll be facing the almighty Bayern Munich on Tuesday. So we'd actually hope they go further, so to extend the amount of games they have in hand, just to make us win.
Let's see what Arsenal has to offer in their next game.
But right now, everybody just hates us. They don't want us to win that.
I don't know.
God will prevail. Yesterday, Muhammad actually wanted to deprive Jesus of victory on Easter Day, but God was like, lie, Jesus is my beloved.
Okay, I think I love that quote though. Yeah, we also had Nigeria would emerge one of the greatest world economies, says Nigerian bishop. Well, we are looking forward to that. We are all we are having faith.
Hopefully. Alright, on the next one again, Igbo no longer wanted in Nigeria, being treated unfairly. There's so many people, Yoruba nation as well. Many people have been treated fairly in Nigeria here. Just the set of little people up there at the upper ladder or something at the top. That's those people that are enjoying the fruits of Nigeria.
And that is because of their selfish interests, my opinion.
Alright, also boy being set ablaze for stealing Android phone in Calabar.
Please say no to jungle justice.
Say no to crime, don't steal.
Say no to jungle.
You can beg. If you don't have any choice, you can beg, but stealing is
Please, when you know you can walk, please don't beg. Yeah. You see a lot of people, they have their two hands
I'm
together.
putting that option before because
everything
if
together
you know,
and,
if they know they cannot walk. At least if you're begging, it's not illegal. But if you're stealing, then you're endangering your life.
10 months after attack, Obo Church reopens for service. Of course, they had to celebrate the Easter, the death, the crucifixion of our Lord Jesus Christ,
the resurrection, most important,
and the resurrection.
Now our church has actually resurrected again.
Is that right? And please, we are hoping and we are praying that what's happened before doesn't repeat itself again.
Not even in our Ondo State, across the
Federation.
Federation. So I will come to the end of the program today. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being part of this program, for clicking on the like button. If you have not done that, you can actually click on the like button. And if you want to drop your comment, but your comment is not dropping, that means you've not subscribed. So you can actually click on the subscribe button as well. Again, till we see you again tomorrow for another exciting edition of the program Lagos this morning. Bye for now. Do have a lovely day ahead.
And of course, please tell someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows about this program Lagos this morning. We are fully back with our full chest, shoulders high, chest out. We are fully back.
Yeah.
Like people like Mrs. Gladys Oyabo,
yeah,
Mr. Samson,
Pushmo,
Mr. Samuel Pushmo,
Mr. Damian Osa.
Yes, Nigeria Future,
yeah.
My guy. We're back.
You've forgotten your guy.
Funny guys! Like I won't forget funny guys, of course. Please, we are back. We are back on the show. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We started a bit late today due to some issues, but it's been rectified. So we're back here tomorrow by 9 a.m. I am Gladys Alizia. Thank you for watching Lagos this morning today.
Yeah, stay tuned. Keep watching Flip TV. We're coming back for amazing news update as well. Stay tuned.
And bye for now.
100 naira eko, 10 bus eko.